Big congratulations to everyone who took the November LSAT. I hope that you crushed it. If you're confident that you did, it's time to switch gears and focus on your application essays. This year's applications are a bit different than in years past due to the Supreme Court's ban on affirmative action about 1.5 years ago. A lot of law schools totally redid their applications in response, removing diversity statements and replacing them with so-called adversity statements. A lot of them added other optional essays with prompts unique to their particular school. This means it may be a bit more work to reuse the same application essays for multiple different schools than it would have been in years past. But don't let this discourage you from applying to as many schools as you otherwise would have, because the more schools you apply to, the more scholarship money you'll get, the more offers you'll get, and the more negotiation leverage you'll have. Now, if you'd like my help in removing some of that workload, my team and I would be glad to help you out. We offer a service where we give you unlimited revisions and edits of all of your application essays, personal statement, optional essays, addenda, resume, even help with requesting letters of rec. We'll help you with as many rounds of edits and revisions as you need for all of your documents for every school that you're applying to. And even if you don't yet have a rough draft, that's totally fine. We'll help you create one. Of course, we're not going to write your essays for you, but we will take your words and help you craft them into strong, compelling narratives. If you'd like my help, check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. Now, if you're not feeling so great about the November LSAT and you're considering a retake, you do, of course, have the January LSAT roughly 2 months away. The January LSAT is not too late. Even the February LSAT is not too late either. And so if you're considering a retake, my thought is go for it. In fact, I recommend that everyone retake the LSAT at least once, for the simple reason that law schools do not average multiple LSAT scores, but rather they only take the highest score. This means there's no downside to retaking. If you think you might be able to do even a point or two better, it's well worth taking the time. And of course, it might involve nothing more than taking one timed exam per week over the next 2 months and reviewing it in depth. That alone could be sufficient. And if you're in the fortunate position to be able to study for the LSAT full time, you might want to do 2 timed exams per week and review those in depth as well. Maybe drill some weak areas on the side. Again, law schools have no incentive to care about whether you retake the LSAT or about when you apply to law school, because they're not evaluated based on those metrics. Instead, they are only evaluated based on the highest LSAT score on record of their matriculating students. That's because this is the data that is reported to the American Bar Association, which is in turn pulled by US News for inclusion in the ever important US News law school rankings. So when you look at law school admissions from the school's perspective, it starts to make a lot more sense why, for example, they don't care whether you took the LSAT with the logic game section or without the logic game section. They don't care whether you took the LSAT 1, 2, 3, 4, even 5 times, and they don't care when you apply to their school. Of course, all else being equal, it's better to apply to law school earlier rather than later. But the thing is that all else is rarely equal, because if you give yourself another month or two to study for the LSAT and you can increase your score accordingly, you'll be in a better position to get into better law schools and, of course, to get more scholarship offers as well. Now, if you'd like my help on your journey to scoring a 170 or above on the LSAT in January, February, or beyond, my team and I would be glad to help you out. Just check out the links below to find out more and to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. Now, whenever you're taking the LSAT, if you are in fact considering a retake in January or February, for example, it's incredibly important that you have a structured study plan laying out exactly what to do, removing all the guesswork about which prep test to take, when to drill questions by type, and when to do full-length timed practice tests as test day approaches. You don't want to leave your LSAT prep to chance or based on how you're feeling that day, which is why we'll create for you a personalized day-by-day study plan. Again, links below to find out more. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.